Be live, so go ahead.
Hi, welcome to the Office of Tax Appeals virtual hearing. If anyone could mute their computer when other people are not talking, we could avoid feedback. Thanks. Do we do a roll call first? How about, I'll just have everyone introduce themselves for the record first. My name is Josh Lambert. I'm the lead administrative law judge for the purposes of this hearing. My co-panelists are Judge Cho and Judge Wong. We're not on the record yet, but we can just discuss a couple things before we go on the record. First, could we have appellants representing appellant Rude Dog Bar and Grill? Could you please introduce yourself? Ms. Fickett. Oh, you could unmute your microphone. There's a button at the bottom you can unmute.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Oh, to hear you, I'm sorry, I have technical issues, I apologize. I hear you through my phone, you can hear me through the computer. So my name is Tracy Fickett, I'm representing Rude Dog Bar and Grill.
Okay, thanks, Ms. Fickett. And with Cdtfa, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Lambert. This is Mary Flor Jimenez representing the Cdtfa.
This is Jason Parker representing the Cdtfa as well.
And good morning, this is Christopher Brooks, counsel for Cdtfa.
Okay, thanks. When we go on the record, I'll ask you to introduce yourselves again just for purposes of the record. But I'll just discuss a couple things beforehand that because of ongoing health concerns related to COVID-19, we are holding these hearings via video conference with the agreement of both parties. This hearing will be live streamed to the public on YouTube, and the audio of the hearing will be transcribed and posted on our website. It will be transcribed by Ms. Alonzo, who is present at this moment. As it is being live streamed to the public, please don't show any exhibits on the screen, and please do not use the chat function within Webex. As I stated before, to help avoid any feedback, we ask that the participants mute their microphone when they're not speaking. And also, it is best to speak slowly so that Ms. Alonzo, the court reporter, can transcribe what is being stated. Another thing that will help us is if you state your name before speaking and avoid talking over participants. If you're having technical difficulties, such as if you get logged off, you can try to log back in. And if that doesn't work, you may call in using the telephone number that was provided earlier. Correction, Ms. Alonzo is a hearing reporter, is her title. So we're just going to confirm the issues and the exhibits before we go on the record. As discussed at the pre-hearing conference, the issue was whether appellant has shown that further adjustments are warranted to the audited understatement of reported taxable sales. And there were concessions on one issue that Ms. Fickett had raised earlier, so there was only one issue related to pilferage. Ms. Fickett, can you confirm that that's the issue?
Tracy Fickett speaking. Yes, the only outstanding issue is the request to have 10% pilferage included in the audit in lieu of the 2%.
Okay, thanks. And Ms. Jimenez, can you confirm that's the issue?
This is Mary Flor Jimenez. That is the issue.
Thanks. And just to confirm before the hearing, our exhibits, Ms. Fickett, you previously provided exhibits 1 through 11. Can you confirm that that is the case still?
Yes, I did. This is Tracy Fickett. I previously submitted exhibits 1 through 11. I will be using 4, 5, and 6 today.
Okay, thanks. And Ms. Jimenez, you provided exhibits A through M. And is that still the case for today?
Mr. Lambert, this is Mary Flor Jimenez. That is the case.
Thanks. And there were not any objections. Do the parties have any objections to any exhibits that they can let us know about before we proceed? And if not, then we can, Ms. Alonso, are you ready to proceed to go on the record? Okay, thanks. We are now on the record in the Office of Tax Appeals hearing for the appeal of Rude Dog Bar and Grill, case number 18011-970. The date is January 26th, 2021, and the time is approximately 10:09 a.m. Due to ongoing health concerns related to COVID-19, we are holding these hearings electronically with the agreement of all the parties. My name is Josh Lambert, and I am the lead administrative law judge for purposes of conducting this hearing, and my co-panelists today are Andrew Wong and Danielle Cho. I'm going to have the parties introduce themselves for the record. Ms. Fickett, could you please identify yourself for the record?
My name is Tracy Fickett, and I represent Rude Dog Bar and Grill.
Thank you. And Cdtfa, could you please introduce yourselves for the record?
This is Mary Flor Jimenez representing the Cdtfa.
Jason Parker, representing Cdtfa.
I believe you're muted, Mr. Brooks. I believe you have to unmute. It should be at the bottom of the screen. Okay, we seem to be having some technical difficulties. But Ms. Jimenez, is it okay if we proceed and identify that Mr. Brooks is present?
Mr. Lambert, let me contact Mr. Brooks real quick if I can have like a 5-minute recess.
Okay, then.
What? Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
We can hear you now.
Okay, I don't know I had mute and unmute, and either way, it wasn't working. So I apologize. This is Christopher Brooks, tax counsel for Cdtfa.
Yeah, it happens. Thanks. Okay, so the issue in this appeal, as discussed previously, is whether appellant has shown that further adjustments are warranted to the audited understatement of reported taxable sales. Ms. Fickett, is that correct?
Tracy Fickett speaking. Yes, sir.
And Ms. Jimenez, do you agree that is the issue?
This is Mary Flor Jimenez. That is the issue.
Thanks. And we are going to be entering the evidence into the record. Ms. Fickett provides exhibits 1 through 11. Cdtfa provides exhibits A through M. And there were no objections. Is that correct, Ms. Fickett?
Tracy Fickett speaking. I have no objections.
And Ms. Jimenez, is it correct that there are no objections?
Mr. Lambert, this is Mary Flor Jimenez. That is correct. No objections.
Thanks. So we will be entering that evidence into the record. As previously discussed, there will be no witnesses introduced by the parties. And, sorry, I was just noticing a technical issue, but I think it's correct now. The order of the hearing will be that appellants will be able to make a presentation with Ms. Fickett representing Rude Dog, the appellant, and she will have 10 minutes. At that time, after she is done, the OTA judges can ask questions. Then CDTFA will have 20 minutes to give their presentation, and the OTA judges may ask questions. And after that, Ms. Fickett, if you want to, you can give a rebuttal for 5 minutes. So at this point, let's get started. Ms. Fickett, if you're ready, this is your opportunity to explain your position. And you may proceed.
Tracy, it's Tracy Fickett speaking. On Exhibit 4 that was submitted, you can see that the audit allowed for a standard 2% pilferage in calculating the tested markup for determining complete sales reporting to the Cdtfa. If you look at Exhibit 5, which is from the first audit, which is the audit we are discussing, it shows lower markups than the second. Let me give you some numbers. I'm sorry. Okay, the markups in the excuse me. Okay, the markups in the first audit, reported markups range from 77% to 111% over the audit period. The audit period started in early 2012. When that audit period started, the appellant, Rude Dog Bar and Grill, realized there was an issue with his inventory and having some of it consumed or taken by staff. And he implemented additional changes to address that. There was increased security on the excess inventory to control what was available for pilferage. And then if you look at Exhibit 6 on the reported taxable sale markup analysis performed by the Cdtfa, you will see that the markup changed significantly from 2012 to 2014 with a reported, calculated markup of 157% to 209%, averaging at 167% over that 3-year period, which the audited markup based on segregation testing and such done by the Cdtfa came in at about 158%. So the fact that the appellant took the extra measures for security was able to control what happened, and we are looking for that 10% pilferage to be allowed. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fickett. I'm going to ask the ALJs if they have any questions. Judge Wong, do you have any questions?
This is Judge Wong. I had no questions at this time. Thank you.
Judge Cho, do you have any questions?
This is Judge Cho. I don't have any questions at this time either. Thank you.
Thanks. I don't have any questions at this time either. So we're going to proceed to Cdtfa. Ms. Jimenez, please proceed with your presentation. You have 20 minutes.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Lambert. This is Mary Flor Jimenez. The appellant operates a sports bar in downtown Covina, California. The liability period is from January 1st, 2009 through December 31st, 2011. Appellant did not provide any sales receipts, drinks menu, or any sales records showing the selling prices of drinks and food sold. There were no cash register Z tapes, no guest checks, and no sales tax worksheet available for the audit period. The department compared reported taxable sales with cost of goods sold recorded on the profit and loss statement. The computed overall markup is 92% for the 3 years combined, and that will be on your Exhibit C, page 164. This 92% book markup is considered very low for a sports bar. A low markup value is one of the indicators that taxable sales are understated. The department rejected reported taxable sales because of the lack of records and the low book markup. A credit card ratio analysis was performed to estimate taxable sales. A one-day observation test was done on April 27, 2012. Credit card sales was divided by total sales for that day to compute a credit card to total sales ratio of around 48%. The credit card sales for the audit period is divided by 48% to compute the audited taxable sales. When that audited taxable sales were compared to appellant's reported taxable sales, a difference of around $1,873,000 was computed for the audit period. This calculation is on your Exhibit C, page 151. The department also estimated appellant's taxable sales using the Markup method. Because of the lack of sales records, a shelf test for food and non-alcoholic drinks cannot be performed. During the audit, the appellant was requested to keep records of food sales like detailed register tapes and guest checks. You'll see that comment on your Exhibit C, page 157. However, no detailed sales documents were ever provided. The appeals decision report recommended using 100% as the markup for food and non-alcoholic drinks. Considering appellant's type of business and the type of food served, this markup is more than reasonable and fair. After making allowances of 2% for pilferage and then another 2% for self-consumption, the markup factor of 100% was applied to the cost of food to compute the audited food sales of around $354,000. And that's on your Exhibit B, page 64. This amount was added to the audited alcohol sales, approximately $3,337,000, to compute the total audited taxable sales of $3,691,000. When the total audited taxable sales were compared to appellant's reported taxable sales, a difference of around $1,114,000 was computed for the audit period. Exhibit A, page 35. Now, this amount supports the reasonableness of the audited taxable sales estimated using the credit card ratio method. The department wants to emphasize that the audited taxable sales calculated using the markup test are lower compared to the sales computed using the credit card ratio method. The markup test, which is the lower of the two tests, was used by the department, which benefits the appellant. Both tests relied on assumption because of the lack of records. Both methods show substantial understated taxable sales. Both tests also show over $1 million of understatement. The department noticed that the appellant began reporting more of its taxable sales when the audit started. the average reported taxable sales during the liability period was around 215,000 per quarter. And that would be on your Exhibit A, page 94. The auditor started the audit in February 2012. And for the first quarter 2012, appellant reported taxable sales of $291,000. And that will be on your Exhibit I, page 268. I mentioned earlier that the overall book markup for this case is less than 92%. The department ultimately used the understated sales established from the markup test, which is the most favorable to the appellant. The post-audit overall markup is 144%. Now, the subsequent audit, which is from 2012 through early 2015, that has an overall book markup of 167%, which is on your Exhibit I, page 272. This also supports the 144% markup calculated for this case. Appellant is now claiming that a 10% pilferage allowance on alcoholic beverage should be allowed. This 10% allowance was not a contention during the audit and even at the appeals conference. It was just conveyed recently when the case went to the Office of Tax Appeals. Now, the department utilizes a form called the bar fact sheet. This form is completed at the beginning of a bar audit. The information is obtained from the taxpayer or someone authorized to act on his or her behalf. It provides documentation for many areas that affect a bar markup, such as the pour size and glass sizes, drink pricing, self-consumption, and even pilferage. If you take a look at the signed bar fact sheet on your Exhibit C, page 172, if you look towards the bottom of that page, specifically number 9, the question is, was there any inventory loss due to theft? The response is no to that question. And it goes on to ask, if yes to any of the above, please provide explanation, documentation, and amount of loss. That portion was left blank. The form was completed and signed by Andy Wheeler, the appellant, on February 1st, 2012. Based on this form, there is no indication that theft was a major issue at this establishment. Now, to give a perspective, appellant's alcohol cost of goods sold amount is around $1,330,000. So 10% of that amount is $133,000 at cost. If we apply the markup factor used in this audit of 258%, the retail value of this claim is actually $343,000. Now, the appellant has been running this business for almost 30 years now. You will see on your exhibits J, K, and L, pages 274 to 284, that the appellant has been operating the sports bar since 1992. An experienced owner such as the appellant would know that $133,000 worth of alcohol with a retail value of at least $343,000 is missing. Also, appellant has not offered any evidence such as police reports or insurance claims to support this huge inventory loss. Now, as far as bartenders giving away drinks, no self-consumption of ex-tax purchases was reported during the audit period. According to the bar fact sheet, self-consumed alcoholic drinks were around $300 each month. Therefore, the department multiplied $300 by 36 months to compute unreported costs of self-consumed alcohol of $10,800 for the audit period. And that's on your Exhibit C, page 136. The cost of alcohol purchases was reduced by $10,800 for self-consumption. As far as employees taking inventory, the cost of goods sold was also reduced by a 2% pilferage allowance. And that's on your Exhibit C, page 114. A pilferage amount of $26,381 at cost was adjusted for alcohol to account for situations like employee theft. In addition, a pilferage amount of $3,600 at cost was adjusted for food and non-alcoholic drinks. Now, Cdtfa Audit Manual Section 809.30 states that an allowance for pilferage in excess of 2% may be given if the taxpayer provides evidence such as police reports, insurance claims, reports from inventory control companies, or similar service firms. The appellant has not offered any evidence to substantiate its contention, and it also has not provided evidence to establish that any additional adjustment is warranted. The department's audit findings and adjustments are more than reasonable and fair. Therefore, the department requests the appellant's appeal be denied. This concludes my presentation. I'm available to answer questions you may have. Thank you.
Thanks. I'm going to ask the administrative law judges on the panel if they have any questions. Judge Wong, do you have any questions?
This is Judge Wong. I have no questions. Thank you.
Thanks. And Judge Cho, do you have any questions?
This is Judge Cho. I don't have any questions for Cdtfa, but if I can, I'd like to request that appellant please discuss a response as to Cdtfa's statements regarding the $343,000 in loss in the retail value, of what evidence you may have to show the additional pilferage amounts, and also have an explanation as to why the owner didn't realize this sooner because of the significant value or loss in your closing statement. Thank you.
Tracy Fickett speaking. You wanted that answered now, or did Judge Lambert have a chance to ask questions?
Ms. Vicky, you can answer the question now. Thanks.
Okay. Okay. The gentleman was also, the owner was not always there, and some of the theft questions on the bar fact sheets were interpreted as actually, somebody coming in and stealing large quantities of product, for which there would be a police report. The missing sales question, again, he was working another job, and this is just a lack of oversight. I have no specific police reports or anything as indicated in the audit manual.
This is Judge Cho. Thank you for your response. That's all the questions I had.
Thanks. And I don't have any questions for Cdtfa. So at this time, Ms. Fickett, if you would like to speak, give a rebuttal, you can have 5 minutes if you want.
My rebuttal at this point, part of which I just gave, this is Tracy Fickett, I'm sorry. I was brought in to represent this taxpayer and take a look at the audit, I believe after the initial conference. There were several items that have been re-audited and revised in the audit that I located that the previous representative did not. That's to answer or to respond to Mayor Floor's comment about this is a new claim. as long as I've been involved with this audit, that has been an issue that I have raised. Thank you.
Thanks. I guess one more time, I'll just ask the judges if they would like to ask any more questions. Judge Wong, do you have any questions?
This is Judge Wong. I had no questions. Thank you.
And Judge Cho, do you have any further questions?
This is Judge Cho. I don't have any further questions. Thank you.
There's nothing further. I'm going to close the record and conclude the hearing. I want to thank each party for coming in today. In 100 days, we will issue a written opinion. Thank you. This hearing is now closed. And I would like to announce that the next case to be heard is Las Playas, and it will begin in 15 minutes at 10:50. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.